Hi everyone, so this is Unit 4's response to the 5 principles of strength. Principle 1, which is measurement, as far as taking assessment tests. We actually use a Success Navigator assessment test to measure the success and the strengths of our incoming freshmen. The issue that we have though is that it is self-reporting. So students obviously will make themselves look a little bit better than they actually are, or for example, they might be procrastinators, but they'll self-report that they turn things in on time. And then when we meet with our students or our professors email us letting us know that we're having some difficulties with the student, obviously that doesn't match up with what Success Navigator what those results are. So it's very important that we just, kind of glance and take a look at those assessment tests, but it's nothing like sitting down with the student and getting to know that student, which leads us into principle number 2, which is educators personalize the learning experience by practicing individualization. So basically, my role is to figure out what our student athletes need. I can't use the same techniques and the same strategies for every student. So understanding that our students are individuals and that different techniques and strategies are going to be specific for that specific student is very key. So I think meeting preference. Oh, so for example, and I'm sorry, I just wrote down some notes. So what I like to do is I meet with my students and I ask them, hey, do you want to meet in my office, or would you like to take a seat under the shade under a tree and talk? Because I know that sometimes students, they feel closed in when we're sitting in an office setting, because it is real professional, and I kind of want to move away from that. I want to make that connection with my students and build that relationship where they can be open with me. So I do ask the student where they would like to meet, just because that allows them to open up a little bit more and make them feel like they have a lot more control. So that leads me to principle number 3, which is the networking with personal supporters of strength development. So basically, I love this concept just because I always let my students know that, hey, if you get an F, that's okay. Where can we go from here? Measuring and talking about their strengths and what they do well is very important. Obviously, we are going to talk about some weaknesses, but I definitely want to start every session for about 30 minutes just on their strengths, what they're doing well, and what maybe some weaknesses that they have overcome. I like to solidify a strength type of meeting first, just to give them the confidence that they need, because a lot of times these students are going to talk to the professors about what they're doing wrong, and it kind of hurts them in a way, because they never really get a chance to dig deeper and really understand that they're doing much better than they think that they are. So I felt that this piece in this article was very, very important, about stressing the strengths that our students have, because in turn that will give them the confidence to tackle the weaknesses that they are going through. So strength number 4 is, I think it's strength number 4, excuse me. Yes, the deliberate application of strengths within and outside of the classroom fosters development and integration of new behaviors associated with positive outcomes. So basically, hey, I talk to my athletes all the time about staying in the gym building and not fully exploring and utilizing the resources on campus. So I love when our students tell me that they're opting out of the program for the second year because they get it. They finally understand how to use resources and how to utilize every resource on campus. And they tell me, hey, Coach Kim, I thank you for everything that you and the Pathway program have done for me. However, I understand how to register for my classes. I understand how to talk to my professors. So that is really what our goal is. Our goal is to empower our students. So making sure that we are giving them options in this first year to go out on campus and find resources for themselves. And to ask me as a last resort is really what I feel this article or this principle number 4 is talking about, and that is how I use this in my day-to-day basis. And principle number 5, which is the intentional development, educators and students actively seek out novel experiences. So that just ties hand in hand. Again, I talk to my student athletes. I'm like, hey, you guys, not everyone talks sports, so it's very important for you to integrate with general population and meet new people. And the only way they're able to do that is leaving the gym building where all of the athletes are. And hey, we already know who those people are. We already have friendships with them, but walking outside of that gym and meeting new people and talking to different type of staff members and just building that skill, because that is what they're going to need in the real world. I feel that that will help them be more confident in academic settings, not just in the sports setting. So overall, I feel that I do definitely use most of these principles, and I know that I can you know, elaborate a little bit more for my students and going over their strengths, so that way they know how to wake up every single day and utilize the tools that we go over, and giving them the self-confidence that they will need. So thank you, and I enjoyed this week's discussion session.